One, two, three. Three count four.
Hello, I am Be Better Gamer. Welcome to Be Better Gamer Wrestling, the channel dedicated to wrestling video games, fueled by my love, passion, and obsession for them. I am playing WWF No Mercy, bringing you another creator wrestler. This is actually a follow-up to my previous creator wrestler I made for WrestleMania 2000, another game part of the legendary CAW series of games on the N64. So I am following up. I'm going through all my other calls I recently did, but I am following up with my Bret the Hitman Hart call, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. One of my favorite wrestlers growing up, still to this day as an adult, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I'm bringing you 4 different outfits. The outfits are pretty similar to what I did in WrestleMania 2000, but you can already see what's really changed is the upper body outfit. As always, the profile, music, ally, enemy, parameters, fighting style, moves, all that is typed up in a Google spreadsheet, which you can find the link of below in the description. So make sure to check out the description if you want the full call. But in the video, I'm just going to go over the appearance to get you started. So right away, we go with body medium 2, and I chose the second. Skin tone, head, we're going to go with male 2 for Bret Hart's head. Face, I went with face 12. I went with face 12. Hair, middle 2. Front hair 07, and for the color, black. Now the front hair is interesting because in WrestleMania 2000 you had a lot more options with the front hair, but I think in this one front hair 7 is the way to go. Original 2 as the ring attire, same as in WrestleMania 2000. You have to unlock these. I chose light pink, but as you just saw, you can choose regular pink. Both work really well. Upper body, original 2, which was added in WWF No Mercy. It's not available in WrestleMania 2000. Same thing, black and light pink, but you can also go with regular pink as well. I think it also looks good. Original 2, you have to unlock in the SmackDown Mall as well. Wristband 1, light pink. I always go with light pink for his wristbands. For his elbow pads, I chose supporter. I kept them at default. For his knee pads, I also chose supporter, but I didn't keep these at default because if you can see, I don't know, to me the default color always looks like it has some green tint in the black color, and that always bugs me. Boots, again, I went with plain white boots. I'm going to show you. This is what I see a lot of other people do when they make Bret Hart. And I get what they're trying to do because it looks similar to his white and black boots he would wear, where it had kind of the black trim. These are the Cactus Jack / Jake the Snake boots. Same thing in WrestleMania 2000. Here it seems like the black lacing is a little bit bigger in No Mercy. So again, I just went with the white boots. It's all personal preference. You could do the other boots if you want. There's also other boots that you can unlock in SmackDown Mall that are sort of similar to the Cactus Jack Jake the Snake boots, and if you want to go for that black outline you can, but I like the look of the plain white boots. For his second outfit, all I did was just change his upper body to light pink, and that's it. You can also do maybe a regular pink outline, that looks good as well, or you can do a light black outline, which I'm showing you here. That looks pretty good as well. And you can also keep the first color regular pink. Again, it's all up to you, but I went with this variation. And that's all I did for the second outfit. I just changed his upper body to regular to light pink. See, there you go. I'm showing you the regular pink with the pink outline. That looks pretty good too, I think. I really like the original 2 upper body outfit that they added. It's really cool, and it goes really well with the lower body tights for Bret Hart. But, you know, if you want to make your own call with those tights, I mean, I think I chose the upper body as part of my call's outfit, my own personal Be Better Gamer call. This is his all pink outfit, inspired mainly from his match at WrestleMania with Roddy Piper, but he wore it a bunch of times when he was with the Hart Foundation. Everything is just turned light pink, ring attire, upper body, and knee pads. Very easy. And the last one, this is his classic, I like to say, his classic look with his regular pink for the ring attire. You could also do light pink for the secondary color. That looks pretty cool as well, I think. It does look pretty sweet. And then for upper body, We kept it. It actually is light pink here. Let me change it because I want it to be regular pink. Look at that. I like the way that looks. Regular pink for the upper body and the black for the first color. Wristband, I kept the wristband light pink. You could go with regular pink. I think it's a little bit too much. The light pink gives it a little bit of a contrast. But again, it's personal preference. Knee pads here, instead you can do pink, but I like to keep them black. He went both ways. He had pink knee pads on, black knee pads on. Again, a lot of subtle differences with Bret Hart's attire, but there you go. 4 different outfits. The moves, the parameters, ally, enemy, all that stuff is in the description below. Make sure you check out the full link of the CAW so you can get it all, you know, good to go and play as Bret Hart right away. I hope you enjoyed this CAW. You've been on YouTube before. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Again, this is not how you have to make Bret Hart. This is just how I made Bret Hart. So if you have any changes, any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Let me know what you did, if you chose a different face, if you chose different colors for his outfit. I always love to see what people do. And as always, when I do my CAWs, I like to follow it up with a match. I'm showing you that I had to make Bret Hart the champion. I had to fight through the WWF World Championship mode twice in order to unlock Shawn Michaels, because I am playing off of my N64 EverDrive. There's Shawn Michaels. I had to unlock him, unlocked a few other people along the way. So I lost all my No Mercy data on my cartridge. I made a video about it, and this happened about a month ago now, and I didn't think too much of it. At first I was like, this isn't too much of a setback, but as I'm making more and more videos for No Mercy, I realized, man, it's really a bummer that I lost all my data now because I'm spending extra time getting everything back. Case in point, I wanted to unlock HBK because when I did Bret Hart in WrestleMania 2000, I wrestled against Stone Cold Steve Austin. For 2 reasons. One, I wanted to talk about his feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I also thought it just fit better to play against Stone Cold in WrestleMania 2000. But 2, because I have yet to unlock Shawn Michaels in Road to WrestleMania. So I didn't want to face Stone Cold again, even though, you know, Bret Hart and Stone Cold's feud is one of my favorite feuds that Bret Hart has ever had with anyone. But I wanted to wrestle against Shawn Michaels because I think that's the match that everyone remembers Bret Hart for. Everyone remembers Bret Hart for the Montreal Screwjob, his last moments in WWE for a very long time until he came back in the late 2000s and, you know, sort of reconciled with everyone. Reconciled. He closed it up. I can't speak today. He reconciled with everyone, and, you know, it was a pivotal moment, I think, in all of wrestling. I think it can't be understated enough that the Montreal Screwjob wasn't only a defining moment in both Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' career, but a defining moment in wrestling in general. And, you know, the WWE and you know, have done tons of DVDs, and, you know, on the WWE Network they have a whole playlist on the Bret and Shawn Michaels rivalry, and I highly recommend you check that out. It's really cool to see, you know, their matches throughout the years and how their feud evolved, how it became more personal. You know, Bret Hart talks about in his book how originally he respected Shawn when Shawn was coming up and he was coming up. You know, he had a few more years in his wrestling career than Shawn did, but he liked what Shawn was doing, and he thought he had a great working relationship as well as a personal relationship with Shawn. But then over the years, as time went on, when both of them were trying to climb that ladder in WWE, you know, their personalities started to clash, and they had different views of what wrestling should be, what WWF should be doing at the time. And there's just so much there that led to the Montreal Screwjob that goes beyond wrestling, which I think makes it fascinating, which I think is why people talk about it today. I recently listened to Chris Jericho's podcast where he had Dave Meltzer on, and they talked about the Montreal Screwjob and all the backstage stuff that went into it. And I recommend you giving it a listen because, you know, there were things there that I didn't even know about the Montreal Screwjob, in sense of, you know, certain other party members, you know, people who were involved, I should say, in a way, indirectly with what went down, who were in the meetings, who actually caught wind of it before it all went down. You know, we all like to wonder, did Earl Hebner know? Who else knew? Did Triple H know? Did Bulldog know? Did, like, you know, who actually knew? Because it was a time where, you know, fiction met reality, right? And I think that's what's so mind-blowing, is that I don't know if there'll ever be a Montreal Screwjob ever again. There shouldn't be. What was one of the most fascinating things hearing the Dave Meltzer interview with Chris Jericho is he brought to light for me that years prior to this, there was already another big-time Screwjob that happened with Wendy Richter and Fabulous Moolah. They wanted to get the title off of Wendy Richter, but she didn't want to drop the title, and they basically screwed her out of the title at the end of the match, or actually ending the match earlier. When Fabulous Moolah went for a pin, she just stayed on top of Wendy Richter, and the ref counted 3, and they took the title off of her unwillingly, and then they fired her. So, or she left, depending on who you asked. So I never knew that. That was the first screw job, you know, or not the first screw job, because there's been tons of screw jobs that have happened over the years in all of pro wrestling. But the first major one to happen in WWF, you know, at the time. And it was interesting when Meltzer was saying how when Vince and some of the writers were trying to think of a great way to get the title off of Bret, you know, someone said, well, why don't we do the Wendy Richter finish as sort of an aside, as sort of like not really, Vince would never go for that, because Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the World Championship, all eyes will be, you know, with Wendy Richter and Fabulous Moolah, it was a bit different. And I want to talk about this probably when I get to my Women's Championship run, but, you know, the stage wasn't as high as it was for Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. So someone sort of said that as an aside in the room, and that's exactly what went down, the Wendy Richter finish. And now we all know it as the Montreal Screwjob, but that was sort of the origins of it that I was unaware of. So give that podcast a listen. I think it's great. Getting back to the Bret Hart call, what I did, it's not much different from WrestleMania 2000. The only thing is, in WWF No Mercy, so as Bret Hart's front special in WCW NW Revenge, he would do the sidewalk slam into the submission. A few other people had that as their finisher as well. And in WrestleMania 2000, you can give that to, you know, anyone as one of their front special moves. And the difference with No Mercy is that they added, you can do submissions as your special, and some moves, just like with front specials and back specials and turnbuckle specials, some submission holds can only be done now as a special. Interestingly enough, you'll see throughout the match that I'm doing the figure 4 with Bret Hart. That's not a special. I can use that as his regular down submission, but I can't use his sharpshooter as a regular down submission. I have to use it as a special move. I'm not crazy about that. I like the ability in all the other games like Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, being able to do whatever submission I want at the end, because submission holds to me in, you know, actual wrestling, they can be pulled out at any time. You know what I mean? They can pull out either when, you know, the opponent is least expecting it, or when, you know, the person about to do it signals to the audience and makes a whole big spectacle that he's about to lock on his submission, you know. So it's unfortunate, I think, that they took certain moves out and only made them specials. So with the sharpshooter, you have to wait till you get a special in order to do it. So I spend most of the match trying to work on Michael's leg so that when I get my special, I take advantage of it, because I only have a small window to actually use the sharpshooter. On the flip side, the positive thing to that is in No Mercy, unlike WrestleMania 2000 and Revenge, the computer doesn't go to the ropes as easily. It's almost impossible to win with a submission hold like the sharpshooter in Revenge or WrestleMania 2000, because the angle has to be so right. You basically have to have that leg that Bret Hart, you know, sticks out get in front of the ropes so that they don't get rope break. But in those other games, the computer moves so fast to the ropes, whereas here in No Mercy, if the more you work on their leg, the less likely, or any body part really, the less likely they are to get to the ropes. They start going to the ropes slower, and eventually you don't even have to worry about them getting to the ropes. You throw on the submission right in the middle of the ring, and they'll tap very quickly. Once you've maxed out the damage you can on a body part, they'll tap almost right away. As long as you're not right next to the ropes, they're not getting that rope break. So there's pros and cons with that change. So for his front special, I gave him basically the jumping victory roll, because Bret Hart has used that before. And again, like I mentioned in WrestleMania 2000, one of the things I loved about Bret Hart growing up and still to this day is that he can beat you with almost anything. He didn't have to rely on the sharpshooter. And there I go, I lost my ability to do my special because Shawn Michaels is just putting up a fight. He does not want to go down. But Bret Hart could beat you with almost anything. I love his performance in the King of the Ring, where he beat Bam Bam Bigelow, Razor Ramon, Papa Shango, I believe. He beat all these guys in different ways. He didn't all beat them with the same move. And that's not saying I have anything against like a wrestler having like one finisher, but I always love it when a wrestler can beat you with many different things. They don't have to always rely on one thing. It makes it a little bit more believable, and it also raises sort of the hierarchy of what's their most important moves. When Bret Hart is trying to desperately win with the sharpshooter, it's because he's maxed out all his other tools in his arsenal. And that's what always made the matches compelling. Here we go, slapping the sharpshooter right in the middle, right away. HBK taps. There it is, the screw job reversed. Bret Hart makes Shawn Michaels tap in the middle of the ring. I'm gonna do a whole big, video series, not a whole series on just a screw job, but I want to go and revisit certain classic matches in the games and sort of, fantasy book them, look at them from like different ways, like, what if the screw job never happened, and sort of play them out in the video games. But until then, I hope you like this call. Let me know what you think of Bret Hart. Let me know if you've made any changes, or if you've made them right away and you're facing Shawn Michaels. I mean, it's the big what if. You look at Bret Hart in the WWF No Mercy roster, and imagine if he was around at this time. He could be facing Kurt Angle, The Rock, Edge, all these people. So that's why we have the video games, because we can live out that fantasy. But thanks for watching. I hope you like this. Don't forget to check in the description. Don't forget to check all my other calls for No Mercy, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, WrestleMania 2000. I am Be Better Gamer. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep watching all the wrestling.